The truth is, there should be a great urgency to get something done here in Congress to defeat the virus, save American lives, and forestall even greater pain for our workers and businesses. Speaker Pelosi and I have negotiated for months in good faith with the Trump administration to find an agreement on a COVID relief bill. Democrats lowered our proposal by $1.2 trillion to move closer to our Republican counterparts. Meanwhile, Leader McConnell and Senate Republicans refused to take part in those negotiations. Instead, the Republican leader has asked the Senate to accept several inadequate partisan proposals. And in every version of the COVID relief legislation that the Republican majority has put on the floor, there have been poison pills included to ensure the bill will fail. Many members of the Republican Senate caucus want to spend no dollars, so Leader McConnell has to twist himself in pretzels to put any bill on the floor. And the only way he can get support of his caucus is to put poison pills in so he can wink at them and say, hey, this won't pass. So, Senate Republicans are seeing this pandemic as an opportunity to try and make it harder to hold corporations accountable when they put their workers at risk. I heard the Republican leader this morning give the same long, tired speech that pretends as if Democrats haven't been trying to negotiate with our colleagues, that we haven't been trying over and over again to get our Republican colleagues to talk with us. The leader's position hasn't changed over the past few months. He said it again this morning. It's the Republican proposal or nothing at all. I would remind the Republican leader the House has passed a bill the Senate has not. And the only Senate bill that the leader brings to the floor gets zero Democratic support. And yet the Republican leader's position? If you don't take my bill, get nothing, when he knows his bill can't pass. Can't pass the Senate, can't pass the House. It's a feeble position as the pandemic rages, and it just doesn't fly. We Democrats have lowered our proposal by over $1 trillion to move closer in negotiations. And what did Senate Republicans do? They didn't move in our direction, they moved further away by cutting their already inadequate proposal in half, making compromise even more difficult. So, look, we need to reset the conversation here. The country is in desperate straits, maybe more desperate than it has ever been in this crisis. The consensus view of economists and experts is that the country requires a substantial injection of aid, meaning relief to our schools, small businesses, the unemployed, state and local governments, our healthcare system, among other things. These are not frivolous. These are not someone's whim. These are the desperate needs of people crying out for help. Almost none of them covered adequately in the Republican leader's bill. This morning, New York's MTA announced a cut to subways and buses, a flashing warning sign about how desperately we need transit relief. We are going to fight hard for transit relief. None of it is in Leader McConnell's bill. The 2 vaccines in development must be produced and distributed on a massive scale, and they must reach underserved and minority communities. The House Heroes bill goes much further in getting that done than the McConnell bill. So it's time for our two parties to sit down together and hash out a compromise on a bill that meets the needs of the American people. We've been going around in circles, the Republican leader in particular, for far too long, with nothing new added to the conversation. So Speaker Pelosi and I have formally invited the Republican leader and our Senate Republican colleagues to join us in bipartisan talks. Our colleagues face a simple choice. They can put the election behind them and work across the aisle to get something done, or they can remain in their partisan corner, defending the poisonous lies of a flailing president, refusing to do the people's desperately needed business. I yield the floor.